of an emergency. The meeting will begin shortly. Please silence your cell phones. Thank you.
The following is a production of Cary TV, the Town of Cary's government access channel.
Call to order the January 12th meeting of the Cary Town Council, and Happy New Year. We have 6 council members with us this evening. Laurie Bush is not here.
5. 5.
5, that's right. We started with 6, we have 5. And Laurie Bush is not here. She's on a family vacation
We will have
overseas.
7 at the next meeting.
We'll have 7. We're moving quickly in the right direction. The first order of business is the adoption of the agenda. Wait a minute. Pledge allegiance. That's not on here. Something's missing. So would you join me for the ceremonial opening? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wow, take a couple of weeks off and forget everything. All right, first order of business is to adopt the agenda. Per staff's request, there is one change to the printed agenda or the released agenda from earlier this week, and that's an amendment moving the Go Cary Title VI program update from consent to discussion. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda as amended?
So moved.
There's a motion.
Second.
And a second.
Sorry.
Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. That takes us to recognitions, reports, and presentations, and I'll call on our town manager for the manager's update.
Thank you, Mayor. Of several items tonight. First, and as a follow-up to my report in December about citizen engagement activities for future community centers, we held our first public meeting last night about the Mills Park Community Center. About 50 citizens attended and shared their design and programming preferences. In addition to the consultants and town staff, Councilmember Robinson was able to be there along with Councilmember-elect Eads. It meant a lot to have you there. Really glad your schedule allowed for it. For those who couldn't attend, the online survey, which has over 2,000 responses so far, will be available into February. And we'll hold another public meeting on January 25th. This one focused on the community center component of the sports and recreation facility that is proposed to be a part of the South Hills redevelopment. Next, our Dreamfest activities kick off tomorrow and run through the 16th. In addition to a special keynote event on Saturday night at the Cary Arts Center, we'll have a photography exhibit and storytelling at the Page Walker, film screenings and a panel discussions in Cary's 2 theaters, a comedy night at the Cary, and an interfaith service at Christ the King Lutheran Church and the Walk for Hope at Mount Zion Church. All activities are free and details are available on the town's website. And last, but certainly not least, staff facilities, including Town Hall, will be closed on Monday in observance of the federal and state holiday. That concludes my report.
Thank you. We now move to the public speaks out portion of our meeting. We've included instructions for speaking at this forum online and on the printed agenda. And there were 3 opportunities to participate in public speaks out. You could have done it through written comments or calling in or attending in person. And if you are here attending in person and would like to speak at Public Speaks Out, I would ask that you take a seat in the first 2 rows there shown to my right. Public Speaks Out speakers have 3 minutes each for their comments, and you may talk on any subject unless it's a public hearing. And since we have no public hearings, you can talk about anything you want. So you have 3 minutes for your talk, and there's a light on the podium. Starts off green, means you have 3 minutes. And then when it gets to yellow, you have 30 minutes. And when it flashes red, 30 seconds. I'm really stumbling through this tonight, Jack. Thank you for helping me. When it turns to a flashing red, your time has expired. And at that point, I will interrupt you, trying to be fair to all of the speakers that have planned to speak this evening. I thank everyone in the audience for understanding that this is a business meeting. Please do not applaud, make remarks from your seats, or anything else that may distract from the meeting. So now is the time for Public Speaks Out. And first I'm going to call on the clerk to see if we've had any written comments or call-in speakers.
No written comments, call-in speakers, or registered speakers.
Very good. Then I'll open it up to those that are here in attendance. If you would like to speak at Public Speaks Out, now's your time to approach the podium. Anyone for Public Speaks Out? Seeing no one, we'll close Public Speaks Out. We'll move to item 4 on our agenda, which is the consent agenda. For the benefit of people watching our meeting on TV, I'll take a moment to review our consent agenda items. Please keep in mind that one vote approves all of these items. And we only have one thing on the consent agenda, and that's set a public hearing for 22A 19 Millstone Annexation and 22A 20 CS Cary Hotels Incorporated. Would council members like these items pulled for discussion? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Do you want to pull it so we actually have something to talk about?
I just want to talk with you guys. No, I'll refrain.
Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
And the second, discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. We have no public hearing, so we'll move right into discussion. And our first discussion item is the request to recognize and appropriate federal equitable sharing funds. We'll call on our police chief, Terry Salt, who will present this item, and council may take action. Chief Salt.
Mayor, Council, thank you very much for this opportunity to speak and to make this request. But I'm going to take the liberty to add just a little bit of an update on a previous request. In this budget year, we actually requested funds for 6 new police officers. These police officers were to be dedicated to the downtown area as we get ready to open the new park and the new programming and the expansion. And the map that I'm showing you now is an area designated as our downtown area, this specific area. To tell you a little bit about what we're doing with those positions, I wanted to give you an update on how we plan to be ready for the park opening in the downtown area, because this request goes directly to that issue. And to do so, in September of 2021, we assigned Sergeant Robin Edwards, Sarge, if you will stand up, to help begin the development of the downtown unit. And now the downtown unit is to work and engage with the downtown business community, the residents, and prepare for the park. Well, in approval of your 6 officers, we have planned to filter in new officers going in. And in July of 22, you provided funding for that. And we're fortunate enough to be able to have acquired enough officers at this point to assign the first 2 officers to the downtown unit. And I want to introduce you to Officer Billy Brownwell and Officer Gilbert Candelera. This makes up your downtown team. Going forward, we will have 2 more additional officers that will be assigned in about March of this year. And then before the park opens, we will assign the final 2. And as we go forward with this, this will provide the backbone, the extra special events and coverage, and help us meet the demands and the challenges and the opportunities that the park brings for us. Thank y'all very much. I want to also introduce, you can sit down, Lieutenant Liz Pearson. She is the lieutenant that oversees this and several other units, including our SROs. Getting to the request specifically, we are looking to purchase 6 electric bicycles and the related accessories associated with that. As you see the photograph, these are the bikes that we have been testing over the last period of time to make sure we're being frugal with the funds. And what the bikes provide is an elevated vantage point, makes them highly maneuverable, allows us to get from one point to the other in the downtown area and not be fatigued in such a way as a regular bicycle would be, so they can take care of business. It really provides the advantage for us to be able to interact with face-to-face business opportunity or just casual opportunity without having to step out of a car or be isolated between a car and our community. We are requesting 6 of those. The other thing that we are requesting at this point to help us in all scenarios, including parades and all of that, is a side-by-side utility vehicle. This configuration that you see is not affected by weather. It's street legal, so we can drive it up and down the street. Easy to navigate into tight areas. If we had to, for some reason, get into the park or whatever, we could get into more spaces with that if we had to move a person, heavy equipment or something. But we work in conjunction with the fire department on all public safety issues in those areas. Unfortunately, we don't have an electric alternative for this because we need to be able to have it run for 24/7 through a multiple day event. We are looking at the development of hybrid options and electric options being more efficient, more effective in our deployment going forward. But for this one, we're kind of isolated to the regular gasoline engine. And so with that, we would recommend appropriation of $78,250 out of our Equitable Sharing Program fund.
So I'll open it up to council for questions or a motion. I would just have one question. We started a pilot program for the e-bikes on our greenways. What did we decide? Is the pilot still going or?
Still going.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, still going.
Didn't know if we made a decision on that because I didn't
Yeah.
remember. That was the only question I have. Any other questions?
I have no questions.
Motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the appropriation of $78,250.
There's a motion. Is there a
I'll
second?
second.
Second. Discussion.
Just a comment. As a downtown business owner, I know that the downtown officers have already been out and about talking to businesses up and down throughout downtown. You know, one, building relationships, getting to know everybody, but also having conversation about, what are some of the problems that, we see on a day-to-day basis, and what are some of the things that they could, focus on and maybe work to address. And I really appreciated Officer Brownell and Mr. Candelaria coming by and chatting with me about that. I know they've done that for numerous businesses up and down downtown. So as we all know, relationship building is key to success in anything we do. So I'm very excited about this new downtown group and team, and look forward to seeing you guys out and about.
Well, thanks for sharing. I had no idea they were doing that. Thanks for doing that. So, that actually means a lot. So, any other comments or thoughts?
I just have one question. With the bikes, I completely understand why. What are you going to be doing in inclement weather? My brain is telling me, there needs to be some place to duck in when a storm comes through, or, even to get out of the rain when you're out and about on a bike.
Well, that's the great thing about these bicycles and having the UTV as well, is it gives us alternatives on how to deploy. We still have the car. And on a bike, you can duck under an overhang, you can wait the storm out, or you can go to a place where you can engage with people and just park the bike underneath. But we're also all-weather deployable as well, so we're not afraid of a little bit of water.
Go have bike races in the parking deck in the meantime.
Oh, yeah.
Any other questions? All right, we have a motion on the table. All in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
And thank you for doing what you do. All right, we'll move to our second discussion item is the Go Cary Title VI Program Update. Transit Director Kelly Blasey will present this item, and council may take action.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tonight, I am presenting Go Cary's Title VI program for your consideration and approval. This may seem like a small update considering the exciting transit projects that we will be talking about in the coming months, but it's really the basis for what we do every day. The Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits discrimination on the basis of race, color, and national origin in programs and activities that receive federal financial assistance. Cary has further exhibited a commitment to non-discrimination of additional protected classes with the approval of the Wake County Non-Discrimination Ordinance and the non-discrimination policy for town operations. As a recipient of federal funding for transit, Cary is required to submit a Title VI program for Go Cary to the Federal Transit Administration every 3 years. This is also reviewed as part of our triennial audit, for which we received a perfect score in 2021. The program details system-wide service standards and policies to ensure equitable service benefits and equal access for all riders. This includes a detailed framework for the distribution of amenities at bus stops and an equity analysis for the siting of any facilities to ensure that there's no disparate impact to the surrounding community. The program also details our public participation and language assistance plans. The Title VI program clearly defines when a bus stop is eligible for amenities to ensure equal distribution throughout the system based on use. But first, it says that all bus stops should comply with Americans with Disabilities Act requirements. This includes things like larger concrete boarding areas, curb ramps, and sidewalk connectivity. We've been focusing on this effort over the past 2 years, bringing 78% of our bus stops into compliance. I knew this was a good number, but I wanted to find out how good, so I surveyed transit systems in North Carolina for comparison. Our regional transit partners average 46% compliance, and the statewide average is roughly 30%.
Damn.
We will begin design for phase 3 of our improvement program later this spring, and our system will be nearly 100% ADA compliant by the end of the year.
Wow.
This makes Go Cary one of the few transit systems in the country to reach this goal. The program also says that bus stops averaging 10 boardings per day should be improved with a bench. 20 average boardings per day should be improved with a shelter. And these improvements should also include things like solar lighting, trash receptacles, and bike racks. 88% of our bus stops now have security lighting with the addition of the solar caps that you see here, and those provide 5 minutes of focused light at the push of a button. We have also installed wayfinding signage at every one of our bus stops, and they detail the map and schedules for each route that serves that location. We currently have 24 stops with shelters and an additional 12 stops with benches. The stops with shelters are marked with a yellow star on the map. Some of the stars represent 2 shelters, one in each direction of travel. And as you can see, they are evenly distributed throughout the system with an average of 4 shelters per route. Routes 7 and 8 don't currently have shelters. As the newest routes in our system, the stops have not yet met those ridership thresholds to add those transit amenities. As we make changes to our service, it is important to involve the public in the decision-making process. Their feedback helps us best meet the needs of the community. This includes engaging low-income, minority, and limited English proficiency populations by scheduling meetings at times and locations that are convenient and accessible, using media options that are focused on reaching underserved populations, and providing opportunities for public participation through other means, such as personal interviews, virtual presentations and surveys, and online public input forums. Our transit public outreach specialist, Fabian Rodriguez, joined the team in late October and has already made contact with 27 community organizations to share information about the benefits of our transit services. And he has partnered with our transit program coordinator, Talisha Holloway, to identify 40 events in this coming calendar year that they can look to for additional outreach opportunities. We translate all of our public notices, signage, and other marketing materials in Spanish. This includes the schedules posted at each bus stop, our ride guides, and advertisements. And our drivers also carry language identification cards so they can request translation assistance for riders that don't speak English. Translation services are free, and we will translate any of our materials into other languages upon request. So tonight, we are asking for a resolution to approve the updated Town of Cary Go Cary Title VI program and authorize the town manager or designee to submit a copy of the program in substantially this form to the Federal Transit Administration and to take such actions as contemplated in the program. I'm happy to answer any questions.
That was a very informative report. I had no idea a lot of the stuff that you were telling us, so thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Questions?
I don't have a question, but I have a statement. Kelly, sometimes we like to say if you're going to do it right. You're just doing it right. I'm just so impressed by the work that you all are doing, and I'm so proud that Cary's leading the way in so many different areas of this transit plan. I think that is probably very appreciated by our citizens, but if you don't hear it often enough, I just want to tell you thank you because I think it's fantastic.
Thank you. We really appreciate that.
Any other thoughts, comments, or motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve. Could you put it back up again so it says questions? I want to make sure I say the word.
Staff
You
can just say
It's just a staff recommendation. Okay, staff recommendation to update the Town of Cary Title VI program and authorize the town manager or designee to submit a copy of the program.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Blasey.
Thank you.
There is no other business this evening, so our meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
That is one.
This has been a production of Cary TV. Visit the Town of Cary's website at townofcary.org.